Hello and welcome to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and this podcast is brought to you by thelegendarychiropractor.com, an interactive and immersive virtual platform for prospective chiropractic students, current chiropractic students, recent chiropractic school graduates, and even veteran doctors of chiropractic out in the field wanting just a little bit more from this profession. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and if you do, be sure to share with a friend, leave us a rate, leave us a review, and also be sure to subscribe to get more. Dr. Brad Glowacki runs one of the highest volume, highest profile, highest profitability practices in the world, and it's all run with vitalistic communication procedures. Those procedures from his office are then shared with other chiropractors at his various trainings as a part of Level Up Mentoring. This information is created, developed, tested, and then packaged simplistically before being taught. With bruises and scars from making mistakes, Dr. Glow always delivers refined content that is battle-tested and simplified for use on Monday. To level up your life and practice, head over to levelupmentoring.rocks. That's levelupmentoring.rocks. Chiro HD, superior cloud-based practice management software. Chiro HD is a user-friendly, all-in-one EHR solution built with one mission: to help you run your practice like a boss. Learn more at chirohd.com. Total Clinic Solutions is your go-to source for purchasing both brand new and refurbished chiropractic equipment, as well as phone support for repairs and maintenance. Call Derek and allow him to combine your wishes and his 23 years of chiropractic equipment expertise to find what's best for you and your patients at 704-622-4089 or head to totalclinicsolutions.com now. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Good morning, people. What's going on? Johnny Reuter here with another episode of the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. I am beyond stoked to be coming to you live today. And we are talking more about mission trips. There's no really sun out, but apparently in video, one side of my face is just extremely lit up right now, and I'm not sure why, but we'll go with it. We'll roll with it. Because what really matters is that you see this video now, but you'll also see this video later, and you'll also hear this audio podcast later on as well. But we're talking about mission trips, and we've been talking about mission trips obviously since yesterday, but since last week, and we want to make sure that we're tying in these conversations with you to make sure you understand and break down, what are the biggest events and what are the biggest things that chiropractic students and recent graduates go through and experience, and how can we as the Legendary Chiropractor platform and community help you grow while doing some of these different things. So as always, head to legendarychiro.com/go, legendarychiro.com/go. Check out everything we have to offer, all podcast, past episodes, video interviews, blogs. I mean, you name it, we got it. The other thing is, I will say, go to legendarychiro.com/chiropair. That's where you can opt in to our chiropair newsletter and have the potential to win free chiropractic swag. And we're super stoked about that. So let's dive right in. Chiropractic mission trips. How long do they last? What kinds of mission trips are there? And how do we make these things happen? First and foremost, chiropractic mission trips can range anywhere from 2 to 3 days, all the way till 2 to 3 weeks. The longest mission trips that I have heard of and that I have seen happen during the winter time and during the summertime. Okay. The reason being is because the mission trip hosts know that chiropractic students are on winter break or summer break. So they know that those are going to be longer breaks. Typically on the quarter system, since I went to Life on the quarter system, what happens is we're about probably 4 or so weeks off during that time period, where during the spring and during the fall, we only get about a week off. So during those longer breaks, and it might be the same for trimesters and semesters, I'm not sure, but during those longer breaks, hosts of mission trips want those to be longer, or they want to give you the opportunity to stay longer, right? So if, say you're going to Haiti or Costa Rica, you could go for a week, 2 weeks, out of your entire winter break or summer break, and be there serving and adjusting these underserved communities in these underserved countries, right? Sked is the all-in-one system that allows for amazing control and flexibility of your scheduling. Yes, your next new hire. Every aspect of when and where you service your customers is at your command. Sked is tightly integrated with your existing EHR system. This software was made by a chiropractor specifically for chiropractic. No joke. Go check out their latest care plan feature by heading to go.sked.life/legendarypod. Easily share your passion for chiropractic and look good doing it with Above Down apparel, offering a premium lineup of principled apparel that's impossibly soft, sustainably sourced, and chiropractic AF. Visit abovedown.co and follow them on Instagram to learn more and score yourself some sweet chiro swag. Every chiropractic clinic needs a compliance program. If you are not sure what that includes or why you need one, let Dr. Robin from RHDC Consulting help you build your chiropractic compliance. If you are ready to get started, head to robin-hale.mykajabi.com and let Dr. Robin guide you to the end result. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. So it's really, really cool. There are mission trips as well in the United States that I think are really cool. Be sure to look those up. But again, your best bet to go about these is obviously searching Chiropractic Mission Trips on Facebook, getting involved in community forums or Facebook forums and groups that your friends have started, or that other chiropractic students have started, that you can kind of find on Facebook. You can Google these sorts of things, but the last thing I want to happen to you is for it to be a scam or some sort of silly thing that you get involved with, and that's the last thing I want to happen. I'd rather you trust a friend, even a friend of a friend, before you trust a simple Google search when it comes to chiropractic mission trips. So that's really key. But duration wise, they can be anywhere from 2 to 3 days to 2 to 3, 4 weeks, right? Because again, we have those breaks in chiropractic school where it's really, really important for you to understand and know that, like, hey, I can plan this ahead of time, and I highly encourage you to do so. But again, as we talked about in our previous podcast, you gotta have some things in order before you go on a chiropractic mission trip. A couple of things, obviously, first and foremost for chiropractic students and recent graduates, it's knowing how to adjust. You have to know how to adjust. Some logistical things that you have to have in order is obviously you have to have a passport. If you're going out of the country, you have to have your passport, and you have to have your paperwork done for the host of the mission trip in regards to what you're bringing. If you're bringing a spine model, a chiropractic table, how long you're staying, maybe even some countries. I know chiropractically speaking, we are split on this front. But some countries do require you to be vaccinated or have certain vaccines prior to entering their country. Now, that is not to open a can of worms and have this discussion about, do I get a vaccine? Do I not? You choose. It's your body. Like, you choose what you got to do to make it happen or to be exempt from making it happen. But regardless, some countries do require that. So you have to make sure you're doing your due diligence and your research prior to traveling to their country. Obviously, when you get to the country, logistically speaking, you have to be on your best behavior in regards to going out of the host location and lodging situation that you're in. You have to be very respectful and courteous to the country's culture and what you're there to actually do and learn, right? I want to emphasize and overemphasize that you are on a chiropractic mission trip to learn, not only to learn how to be a better chiropractor and a better doctor and to serve underserved people, but you're also there to learn about the culture that you're in. You're not just there to get numbers. You're not just there to get adjustments. You're not just there to get closer to that 10,000 hours to become a master in the craft of chiropractic. You are not there to utilize these spines and these people to improve yourself. You are there to serve the underserved, which is why we say you should be very proficient at adjusting prior to going on a mission trip, which is why I say I highly encourage you to do it prior to graduation, anywhere between late stages of student clinic and early stages of outpatient clinic. Even in between at Life University, we had outpatient clinic, then we did a peak program. Even in between your outpatient clinic and your peak program would be a really, really great opportunity and really, really great time to do a chiropractic mission trip because you're going to be proficient at adjusting. You're going to have the mindset and the heart to serve the underserved. You're not going there for the wrong reasons. And you can get your mind right, and you can also have time, if you plan it right, to get all your documentation correct as well prior to going on a chiropractic mission trip, like a passport, like documentation, to make sure you're able to go serve at the peace of mind that you are in a good area, in a good place with good people that have your back just as much as you have their back, right? So it's really important that you understand this stuff. Chiropractic mission trips sometimes are a little skeezy in my opinion, right? There are bigger organizations out there, like I first mentioned in our first mission trip episode. I mentioned Dr. Peter Morgan. He's been going to Haiti for years and years. If you had a good experience, bad experience with him and his trip, it's indifferent, right? I'm just suggesting, like, he has a bigger organization. He's a good person to go to. He's a good contact. The other people, I don't really know any other names per se, but there's a good trip that goes to Costa Rica. There's a good trip that goes to Mexico. So you want to definitely make sure you do your due diligence in regards to researching chiropractic mission trips, also going off of word of mouth, because honestly, I have nothing but good things to say about chiropractic mission trips. However, I have heard of horror stories, and I want to make sure that I not only share my personal experience, but I also share opinions of others who have been in the profession for a while or who have been in school and have done these different things, and I've heard through the grapevine what they're like, right? So make sure that you're talking to your friends, your pals, your colleagues, all about what the chiropractic mission trip was for them, what their experience was, because honestly, it's kind of like pregnancy. When you get into practice, you start hearing these horror stories about, different people have different, pregnancies, and everyone's got a story. Everyone has a different story. Some people are like, mine was great. I was done in 2 hours, whatever. Like it was perfect, right? And other people are just like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe it, and blah, blah, blah. And then I had to get a C-section and all this stuff. And that's how I feel like chiropractic mission trips are. That's how I feel they are. So it's different for every single person. Even if you find 10 people that went on the same chiropractic mission trip, I guarantee you will get 10 different responses from those people and 10 different experiences that they actually experienced themselves from that mission trip. How it went, what the situation was like, what the lodging was like, what the airfare was like, what the host was like, what the communication was like, all of these different things that go into it and behind the scenes. So you definitely want to make sure you do your due diligence in researching chiropractic mission trips, talking to friends, talking to colleagues, talking to your peers that have done it before or who are looking to do it. And also, Dr. Stu Hoffman, founder and president of Chiropractic Malpractice Insurance, is the foremost expert in both risk management and risk avoidance. Understanding the everyday challenges of today's practicing chiropractor and the current public perception of chiropractic has made Chiropractor the fastest growing malpractice insurance program of the last 28 years. Find out more at chiropractor.com. Imaging Services' primary business is chiropractic solutions. With over 45 years in the industry of helping chiropractors, Michael Tokash offers free consultations on building your business. In the past year, Imaging Services has installed over 100 X-ray machines and digital X-ray systems in over 42 states across the United States. For more, head to theimagingservices.com. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. About the ambassador that we talked about in our last episode, all about the mission trip. Ask them questions about how you get there, what's the airfare, what's the cost, are there any costs that are incurred during the trip that you have to cover? Is there food? Is there lodging there that you have to, make sure that your bases are covered before you go over there? I want you to have all of your ducks in a row prior to going, halfway around the world on a chiropractic mission trip. I want you to have all of your ducks in a row. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that will tell you that. I just want to make sure that I'm looking out for all my recent graduates, all my current chiropractic students, that you know exactly what you're in for in regards to chiropractic mission trips, because not a lot of people talk about them, but they're all around campus, right? Not a lot of people put this out on social media. Not a lot of people talk about this on Facebook or whatever, unless you're in those specific groups. Not a lot of people are talking about this on social. So we wanted to be some of the first people to talk about it in our podcast. Make sure you're understanding exactly what you're getting in for. Understand exactly that, like how long these last, how long they can last. And of course you can buy different tickets, right? But again, know what you're getting into when you actually purchase your mission trip and your ticket abroad. That's very, very, very important. So without further ado, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. It is another powerful episode on Chiropractic Mission Trips. Drop value below. Be sure to subscribe, leave a rate, leave a review. We love to hear from you guys. And honestly, I'm absolutely blessed to have as many sponsors as we do on this podcast. I'm absolutely blessed to have as many followers and listeners as we do. So thank you guys for that. Share this with your friends, share this with your chiropractic colleagues and peers, because we got to get the word out that the Legendary Chiropractor platform community exists, and that honestly, we got to share this with the profession, because we're the only ones talking about these specific topics and these specific things for chiropractic students and for recent graduates. We're the #1 podcast in the chiropractic community for recent grads and students for a reason. And it's the exact reason that we're talking about things that are so often talked about by chiropractic students, but are not being in the mainstream chiropractic media, so to speak, right? It's not being shared on Facebook by everyone. It's not being talked about by everyone in the social circles. And you only hear it kind of word of mouth or ear to ground while you're on chiropractic campuses. And we want to bring that out into the public so that people know exactly what's going on, and for the chiropractic community, specifically for recent grads and students, so that you guys know how to navigate your future in chiropractic that much better. That's what we're all about. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Be on the lookout for updates, news, everything. We got a lot coming. We got a lot in the pipeline. And our roadmap just keeps getting better and better. And things just keep falling right into line with what we have planned, which is amazing. So I appreciate you guys. Keep the love and support up. And if you need anything, you know where to find me. You know where to find my team. We're always here for you guys. Stay legendary, my friends. Peace and love. Bye, guys. See you next week. Again, I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and you're listening to the Legendary Chiropractor podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for engaging with us on all of our platforms, including but not limited to Facebook and Instagram, all at the Legendary Chiropractor. Be sure to check our home site out at thelegendarychiropractor.com, as we have much to offer for prospective chiropractic students, current chiropractic students, recent chiropractic school graduates, and even veteran doctors of chiropractic out in the field. And lastly, I'd like to thank not only you, our listener, but also our podcast sponsors. Without them, this show wouldn't be possible. So I encourage you to go check out their websites and what they have to offer in the show notes for this episode. Thanks again. Stay legendary, my friends.